Now speak to us about these cases. It's 2 ministers and 6 schools,
Yeah.
if I understand correctly. What are the practical steps that your organization is taking?
Right. This whole case started 5 years ago. I also made it to the headlines across the country, mostly in the Afrikaans press, I must admit. When I started taking on schools about what they were doing. Professor George Claassen at that point was backing me. He later on had to withdraw. I tried to convince people, I tried to call people, I tried to debate in the public about it. I was just stonewalled because obviously who's this guy? Nobody knows him. 4 years later, I happened by that time to accumulate a legal team willing to do this pro bono. So it's a lawyer, an advocate and a senior advocate or senior counsel. And they offered to do this case because they also assume it to be very important for the country. We then, not advertised, but we let the word out that we're looking for parents willing to come with complaints, what they feel make their children feel vulnerable and ostracized in schools. And the word spread, and the people who came to us who were willing to stand up in court and to take this matter to the bitter end happened to come from those 6 schools. So those schools weren't selected by us in any other way. It just happened to be a statistical thing. Since then, other parents have also approached us. English-speaking parents, for example, have approached us. And I must make it clear, it's not just people who may be non-believers as such. Other people, even Christian people, are not happy with the way that certain schools espouse their Christianity in these cases. So the schools happen to be all from the Afrikaans Christian backgrounds, because those are the parents that came to us first. Then we drafted the motion, and that is what's going to the courts. Why the 2 ministers are involved is because obviously this has to do with the Minister of Basic Education. So we don't expect Honourable Minister Angie Motshekga to oppose this case. She would probably just take notice of what he said there. I've already debated with her 5 years ago on television, and she agreed with the points that I was making then. So I don't expect opposition there. And if it is found, or if the courts pronounce that there's something in the Constitution that should be addressed, then the Minister of Justice will be involved there. So we don't expect the 2 ministers to oppose the case as such, but they are intertwined with the case, and whatever the courts say will eventually become part of what they have to do.
What type of a time frame are we looking at?
Right, there's a bit of a documentation thing that goes through, administration type thing. You know, you file a motion, they file a motion, the opposition, that they will oppose the matter. AfriForum has kindly offered to help pay for the fees. The schools themselves are contributing quite a bit of money there. And then a bit of to and fro in terms of documentation. Then we wait for the courts to assign a court date, which might happen if we're lucky by, say, about November, that they will give us the date. But seeing that there's then the summer recess, etc., we expect the courts to actually set a date for maybe February. So I expect this after the holidays to actually get to the press again. You know, in between it's the road deaths and the Christmas fever and things, and then we will get to the serious stuff again.